my shield, and he in whom I trust.
Hey guys, Precision Fire here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Savage 110BA Lapua Magnum and 338 caliber. If you've probably seen this in the stores before, in your local gun shops. I would say, if I can call this anything, a best value precision rifle. It is probably the cheapest you're going to get in regards to this caliber of rifle. For instance, a Barrett would cost you $7,000 to $12,000. So this is probably going to be on the lower end. Except one cool thing about this, it's going to be the highlight of your gun arsenal, or it's going to get a lot of attention at the range because it's just mean looking, and when you fire this thing, it's loud. Now, you're probably going to notice that a lot of ranges do not allow this. It's just the rounds go right through the steel. I personally was shooting at 1/4 inch steel at 1,000 yards, and you know, I was thinking that I was hitting my target. And I kept round after round after round, and then I actually drove to the steel and found that I did shoot it. It had like 10 holes in it, and the velocity of these bullets are so powerful, it just went right through it without even moving it, without making any sounds. So I actually had to get a 3/4 inch steel that I'll be using on my next shoot with this. So let's go ahead and just talk about the rifle. I'm trying to keep these videos to a minimum on time, so let's just get into it. This is a 3.5 inch muzzle brake. This takes off about 35% of the recoil on this. That, in addition to the weight of this, which is 18.5 pounds. This is actually 11.5 without the scope, straight out of the box. But with everything on it, it's 18.5. That's with the scale I have here, and that seems pretty accurate. This thing is very, very heavy. And you'll notice that the new, I'm not going to be talking much about the new model. The new model has I wouldn't call it a new model, it's just another model. It's the same rifle, same design, except they decreased the weight on it. I think that was one of the biggest complaints with this rifle. So they've actually made some changes, such as putting an AR style stock on it, a lot lighter. You know, the AR styles are very hollow. With the chassis here, it's totally machined out all the way back, and it's very thin. So I think that was some weight savings. If you look at this chassis, it's very thick, it's very heavy. The bulk of the weight of this rifle comes right here. Okay, getting off subject here, let's go ahead and start with this 24 inch barrel. So you'll notice that it's 24 inches and it does not touch the chassis. So that helps with heat distribution, as well just decreasing any resonance or vibrations within the rifle. So like I said, with the chassis here, it's machined from one solid piece of aluminum. So, which is pretty cool. You can actually see it, that there's no seams all the way back here. You have a 5-round magazine. 5 rounds, 1 in the chamber. Honestly, I don't really use this. Every shot is a precision shot for me. It's just the rounds are so expensive on this that it's nothing you just want to just, you know, pump rounds out of. So anyway, when you're inserting this, the magazine doesn't slide in very easily. You have to use the release here. And once you use the release, it actually slides right in. So if you're familiar with Savage rifles, you know the AccuTrigger. This has an AccuTrigger on it, and this one is adjustable, so you can make it a little more sensitive if you want. Out of the box, I can't remember the poundage, but it's actually it feels good stock. I don't think I'm going to change the trigger out of this. It feels pretty good to me. Regarding to the rails, you have 2 side rails here. You can add flashlights or laser sights. And your top rail for your scope is going to have 20 MOA taper on it. So This is a Nightforce ATACR, so it has 120 MOA of elevation, so that will give me 140 to play with total, especially when you're going to make those really long shots. I know if you purchase this, you're going to see videos, you're going to be trying that 2,000 yard shot. So you're going to need a lot of elevation with that. So before you get your rings, your adjustments, and you're going to have to do a lot of research. I mean, just depending on what you're going to use this for and how far you want to be able to shoot, and you need the proper scope for this. Okay, so in regards to this buttstock, this is a 6-position shock absorbing FAB Defense GL shock buttstock. So you can see it has the thumb screws there, and for the cheek rest and the buttstock. One drawback of this, it doesn't have the cheek rest that goes left and right. I personally like that feature. I have it on my other stocks, on my other rifles. And this is one rifle I kind of have trouble playing around with, just to get the line of sight right when I put my cheek up to the rest there. But overall, it's not too bad. I wouldn't call this the ultra precision rifle. It's just a fun gun to have in your arsenal. Like I said, you can't really take this to the local ranges. You usually have to go to remote areas like dry lake beds to shoot this. So it's fairly inexpensive, and I would recommend it. There's so much you could do with this rifle that if I was to make YouTube videos just on this rifle, I could go on forever. So one drawback on this, like I said, it's kind of a best value gun, but the rounds are expensive. You're looking at about $5, $6, $7 a round. Let's go ahead and get into that. Let me put this to the side here. You're going to have to get into reloading with this, unless you want to spend all the money buying the rounds for this. Let me give you an example. This is federal match grade ammo. This is made with Lapua brass. This is a box of 20, and of course, you know, these are very nice rounds. Any federal match grade ammo are very well built. This is $109 for that. So $109, yeah, so that's, you're running about $6 a round for this, so that's quite pricey. Anyway, the point is, expensive to shoot. These are probably the cheapest best value round. This is the Seller and Bellow, or Billet. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm probably saying it wrong. But these are $37.49 for 10 rounds. So it's about $74 for a box of 20. So if you want to get that figure down to around $2 a round, $3 a round, depending on what material you use, you're going to want to do your own loads. So in my future video, you'll see we'll be doing some loads for this rifle right here on this table. I got my rock chucker de-installed from my other table, and we will be installing that right here. And we'll be going from start to finish on doing some loads for that and measuring things out. We'll make a whole video regarding to that, so you can join me for that. We'll be using the Retumbo powder. For this particular rifle, I would say you want to get the 8-pounder. And then, of course, I just got a competition set of dies for this. We'll be using 215M Federal primers and some Lapua brass and some Sierra match grade 300 grain bullets. And we'll go ahead and load some rounds for this, and then we'll take this out to the lake bed and see how well they shoot. So anyway, you can join me for that video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll also be doing another video on this ATAC, probably one of the most versatile and the clearest scope that you can shoot out of. I would say this is probably in the top 3, the ATAC. So we'll be talking about that in a future video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.